Well, my church told me.
How you doing, Mr. Connect? Nice to meet
Yeah, I did tell him about the time we get to house. Pull that thing out, I know what it is. That's usually how it happens.
Yeah.
Good to see you. No, I went. Yeah, I read about that. Yeah, I think. The agenda. Yes. She went off of the agenda also.
Oh, yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. They're on.
One at a time.
It's first.
You know what?
How hell was it? You ready?
What's up, Wes? Where you at? Back in Notre Dame or you transferred to Crowley?
Gotta get a call first.
Hmm?
You gotta receive a call.
He's gonna get one.
They got one.
All right, we'll call a meeting to order. Invocation, Alderman Ashby.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this glorious day. We just ask, Lord, that you would direct us tonight, Lord, that you would guide us in the direction that you would have us to go. Lord, that we would keep you first and foremost in all of the things that we do. We ask these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Pledge, Alderman Senator Reggie. Roll call, Ms. Clerk.
Chuck Ashby.
Here.
Katie Shetson.
Here.
Brad Poole.
Here.
Jeff Doherty.
Here.
Dickie Leckley.
Here.
Vernon Martin.
Here.
Sandy Marks.
Here.
Sammy Rickey. Here. Byron Woodridge.
Here.
Thank you, sir. All members present. All right, reading of the call. City of Crowley Special Council Meeting Notice. You are hereby notified that a special council meeting of the mayor and board of aldermen of the City of Crowley will be held on Monday, August 14th, 2023 at 6 p.m. in the City Council Chambers, second floor of Criminal Justice Building, 426 North Avenue F, Crowley, Louisiana. Purpose of said meeting will be to consider the condemnation of the following properties: 124 Dronette Street, wood frame home, 124 Dronette Street, metal storage building, 317 East Pine Street, 127 Dronette Street, 815 West 10th Street, 514 East 10th Street, 1226 North Avenue J, 822 West 9th, 909 West 10th, 1004 West 10th, 702 West 10th, 1524 North Avenue H, and 1546 North Avenue H. We'll start on the agenda. A1 is for 124 Dronette Street. We'll now open the roll of show calls. White property located at 124 Dronette Street, a wood frame home, parcel number 06100932000, belonging to Ashnell and Mary Cormier, should not be condemned. Do we have the proper service for this property?
A notice was sent to the owner by certified mail, and we have a return receipt showing delivery on July 20th.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Richard,
Yes, sir.
push the button, please, sir.
Right, I got it. Yes, sir, I did a, report on this property. Mayor, would you like me to go over what I call the requirements to condemn a piece of property? I'm not sure how many new council members you have here, or
If you don't mind, that would
if
be
they know the process.
very informative.
Okay. Well, the first thing that we have to do is go out and do a written recommendation for the council. And that's what the first step is. I went out and I did a written report and a recommendation to the council. The second thing is, as each property is set up to be condemned, we must send a notice advising in the date and time of this meeting that we have right now. The letter must be sent 10 days prior to the hearing. And there's methods of serving, which is either by certified mail and or regular mail. And now we're on step 3, which is the town decision to condemn a particular property must be taken at this hearing right now. So after I read my recommendation, y'all will vote on to consider my recommendation or not. So this is where we're at right now. So the first one I have here is 127 Darnett, and that's where I'm asking Miss Mary Cormier, the owners of this, come up. Sir?
124.
124.
124 on that.
124, that's you? Yes, sir. Well, if y'all have the pictures of the property, what I like to do is kind of walk through the pictures a little bit. The first portion of this is what we checked is blighted property. And the wood frame house. Now, this particular one, I recommend that this property be renovated or condemned and demolished. So what I'm doing at this point is asking the owner what he would want to do with it. Renovate it, which means bring it up to living standards. And my living standards is kind of listed on that report, and the pictures is what the defaults are here. And if you go through each one of the pictures, you'll see what I noted, like no landings, no steps. You're gonna see iron guard rails on all the windows. That's a big no-no in the code book. You have something that evidently at one time was that old aluminum siding, which is blown off the house in very poor condition. Air conditioning units, what we call blocking means of egress. In other words, if I have a fire in that house, I can't get out of that window as an emergency means of egress. So this is underneath the house. There's some plumbing issues that would have to be corrected. And also I got some exposed electrical outlets that's exposed, which makes it a hazard also, an NEC hazard. So at this time I would like to hear what the owner has to say. Sounds like me.
Yes, sir. My name is Elijah Lewis. I'm a truck driver, and a lot of times I'm not in Crowley. I may be a month, sometimes 2 months at a time on the road. Okay. My grandfather, Ishmael, he was an outstanding member of this community. I have been paying taxes on this property for over 25 years since my grandfather passed. I'm the last living heir to the property, besides my kids. And the date of this these pictures, which was on the 20th,
June 28th.
I think it was 20, I was actually out there. I wasn't out there at the time that you came, but I was out there. I come and cut the grass. My biggest thing is every time, about the burglar bars, I thought you could have burglar bars on a house as long, on some of my bars, I had padlocks on them. And I know that's no, which I want to put just a screw, just in case somebody needs to get out or I need to get out. But it's always been a problem, because I live in Westlake, but it's always been a problem, and I come here and I spend weekends just trying to clean the place up, but it's, people always break it in. They cut through the barn, I've had them pull off the door, I've had them, and I think I came to the city once before and I wanted to put electric fence. And the mayor told me, he said, yeah, he said, if a bird was to go and get electrocuted, I was responsible. And if a kid kicked a ball over, and but it's just hard to keep people out.
Yes.
But I've been doing work on it all the time. The last time that Tony had came out there, I had to cut that siding, and it was behind a board that I couldn't get to. But I've since taken that all off. I've taken all the bars off. I've been trying, because I talked with Mr. Sammy Reggie after I got this notice, and he said, well, Mr. Lewis, we're not trying to take your property. He said, we just want you to fix it up. And I've spent over $3,000 in the last couple of weeks trying to get this problem solved. It had a lot of trash and debris around the barn. I got a guy named Phil from over here. He came, he took all of that trash away. If you was to go out there today, you can see from Dromare Street all the way through to Statenville to Acadia Scrap, which is right there. I do have a security light on the back of the house, which somebody tried to take it, I guess, and couldn't get it. But the one on the street, on the corner, right in the curve, that light has been out. The one in the front of the house by Acadia Scrap has been out. So, I've just had all kind of problems.
Yes.
People sleep in the barn, but now all the trash that was in the barn has all been hauled over there and eaten. So, I took off a couple of weeks just to try to make sure that I got this thing under control. And you see, I had paint on there. I was trying to do some painting, but I've had carpet go out there. It's coming up the part.
Yes.
I got pictures. I put steps on the back where that whole step was. I took it completely off and put a wood step with a rail on the side where the door opens.
Yes, sir. I would like to interrupt him for a second and explain to him what part of this process is. When I recommend it to be repaired, I would like for you to get in touch with me, and there's a permit process.
Right.
Because you say you built some stairs, it's my job to verify that they built according to code standards.
Yes, sir.
According to all standards. So plumbing that needs to be repaired and fixed, all that has to be done to a code standard, electrical, on and on.
Right.
So, number one thing, if the council recommends giving you a time limit, and usually I'll ask the council that this stage is how much time they want to give you to repair it. Whether it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, that's strictly up to the council. Because when I recommend something that may be renovated, it's what I call it has good bones. It's not like some you're gonna see that's rotting down, trees fell, that's just unrepairable. But when I see good bones, I like to give the people a chance to fix it, but with the proper permitting and the proper process.
Yes, sir.
Is what I'd like to see.
Mr. Cormier, I'm sorry.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes, sir. So just real quick, I want to comment a couple of things about what you were explaining with the home, which is all the reasons why we're doing this. Throughout our city, we have lots of properties that are in worse shape than this, but we have lots of properties that are considered abandoned, that are uninhabitable, cannot be lived in the condition they're in. And as Mr. Cooney was saying, some of them can't even be repaired. They're so far gone. I was speaking with a lady today about a similar situation, and she wants to fix the home. And honestly, that's the goal. That's my goal, and I'm certain that's the goal of much of the council, that these properties be brought back up to the condition that someone can live in. Because if you look on social media, just about every day, someone's looking for a home in Crowley to live in. But our city is littered with properties that are uninhabitable currently. And you will continue to have the problem with this home of people tearing it up, breaking windows, kicking in doors, stealing things, messing things up, as long as there's no one living in it. So the longer it takes you to get it into condition to be able to either rent it or live in it yourself, but you say you don't even live in the city, our people...
5 years, they
Sure. So the longer you take to get it into the condition for someone to live in, the more chances you have for vandalism. And that's the problem with a lot of these properties, and people just walk away from them, and the neighbors have to deal with it, and people in our city are tired of living next to things like that. And so that's why we're really getting serious about this and cracking down on it. And I promise you, we would much rather see you repair your house, and I'm not going to speak for all of the council, I'll let them speak for themselves, but I know I would much rather see you repair your house and put someone in it than to have to tear it down. But we're going to need you to work with us on that and do it in a timely fashion, if the council so chooses for that. Mr. Martin.
So basically, we taking it one at a time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I move that we give him 90 days to go ahead and try and get his house repaired or what have you. Instead of giving him tonight.
Sam, ready? Go ahead.
So my question would be, how long do you think it would be to repair all those things? Would it be 90 days, or do you?
I would request 90 days, but
No.
I have it done well before
No.
90 days.
Oh, good, okay.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Okay, all right.
I just need you to come back out
What you need to do is get in touch with me tomorrow.
and make me on the road.
Okay, call me, because I want to explain the permit process and the inspection process to you.
Okay.
Okay?
And that number is on this paper.
It
This is, this,
Yes, it is, right here. See that 886 number, that's the way to get in touch with me.
okay.
Call me, so number one, we're gonna get the permits, that permit is good, like they're saying, for 90 days, to get cranked up on it and get started.
And make a difference on it.
Just to finish.
To be completed.
Well, what happens is, in 90 days, it will be inspected again. And if there's substantial progress, if it may take him 96 days or 100 days, maybe he's close to finishing, he's not complete in 90 days. I think it's right to give him, show that he's continuing to make progress. I'll tell you another problem that we've had here in this city, and one thing that I'm going to be on top of is I can bring you to a home that was given the same opportunity, and they changed the roof on it about 3 or 4 years ago, and hasn't done another thing to it. That's not going to pass. That's not going to pass. So we want to get these homes livable so we can put people in them.
I actually do come, if I'm here, like when I come to the weekends that I'm here working on the house.
Yes,
I've always just stayed there. I mean, you know, I got water, got lights, and you seen the meter. You know, I don't have gas, but I barbecue outside.
It's getting in good living condition, so it's not a blighted piece of property for the neighbors.
Sure.
That's what we're at.
okay.
No problem.
Okay, man.
Mr. Core?
Take the 90 days.
All right.
Crowley,
Yes, sir.
do you have a general estimate of the cost to bring this property up to code and make it habitable?
Well, you would think I would after 30, 40 years in the construction business, but I would tell him this. We, and when I say we, my company, we do not live with lipstick. We want it fixed and we want it done properly, not just a paint job and thinking it's livable. And, you know, stuff like that, you know, just your plumbing, looking underneath the house, you get a plumber there, several $1,000s in most cases. You get an electrician there, another several $1,000s. Things cost a lot of money. Now, I know you're gonna be doing your own painting, probably, your own carpenter work, so that's kind of free. But I can almost say he's gonna spend $15,000 with a bad eye, trying to get it looking halfway decent.
Well, and not just looking, but make
Livable.
it habitable to where
Yes,
it's
sir.
decent, safe, and sanitary property.
I would say that's where he's gonna be spending money, to make it a real piece of property.
Do you have, with that known, you know, do you have those funds available to do this within the 90 days?
Yeah. I've already spent about 5,000.
Sir?
I've already spent about
I
5,000.
don't know, but in addition,
Right.
as Mr. Richard saying, because it's gonna be more than just patching. It's gonna
Right.
be more in depth.
Not patched up.
Okay. You're the owner of the metal building next?
Yes.
On the agenda? Now, that one.
Maybe we
Okay,
can-
hold on, I got a motion.
Oh, yes.
I got a motion and a second to, give him 90 days for 124 Dronette Street, the wood frame home. All in favor? Opposed?
Nay.
One nay, motion carries. All right, now the next one is for 124 Dronette Street, which is a metal storage building. Same parcel number, same owners.
Yes.
And we do have the right, service for that, correct? We do, no, you're good. Okay,
Now,
Mr. Richard.
yes, sir, thank you. Now, this one here, if you see my recommendation, is completely different than the house. This building here, you know, who knows when it was built? But if you look at my pictures and my comments under it, there is literally no good bones left to this building. In a good hurricane, this tin metal will be distributed all over town in a high wind hurricane type of situation. So it's done out of what I call drill stem pipe probably at some point in time. And, so my recommendation is this building be tore down and demolished.
I suppose.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to condemn and demolish the metal storage building at 124 Dronette Street. Discussion?
20 days.
How many days you want to give them?
30 days.
30? Any other discussion?
Yeah, I just want to make sure he understands what's going
Yes,
on. The storage building has to be demolished. You agree to do that?
Not really. Because there was a mechanic shop. I mean,
How long ago was that a mechanic shop?
my grandfather had it as a mechanic shop.
How long ago? See, that's the problem.
Been dead about 25 years.
Yes, sir. So that building has not been touched in 25 years. It has been sitting there decaying is the problem. And look, sentimental value does not bring up property value. And we have to be considerate that your grandfather operated a mechanic shop out of there. But again, if we're gonna clean up our city and the neighborhood that these other people live in, not the neighborhood that you live in another city, we have to be serious about this. and clean up these properties. And a building not being used in 25 years in this condition is a danger to public safety and the properties around it.
I get up on that building, I can only see 2-3 pieces of tin that's coming up on the back corner, on that left, on that far right corner, far left corner. Last time when Tony came, he told me to tear down the one part of the door. So that door is just like a driveway. It doesn't rain in that building at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Katie had.
So, I just want to mention that in looking at the pictures, it would seem to me that cleaning that up and getting that away from the home would certainly lend to having the house being repaired and looking much safer and nicer with not having that there.
Well, yeah, and you got a lot of rusted tin, you have holes in it, and anytime you have doors, open, that's a high wind that's gonna get underneath that thing and it's gonna.
Mr. Martin?
No,
You
I
had a
just
question?
want to say, why don't we give him the same amount of days, let him make up his mind, and if you want to save it, you know it's gonna cost him, but if you can save it, let him save it.
Any more discussion? All in favor of 30 days to demolish? Was the motion and the second? All in favor? Opposed?
I'm gonna take a note of that, 'cause what I'm
One
asking,
opposed.
what I'm asking is that we allow him a chance to look at the building and see can it be saved.
The motion carries. Mr. Martin, it was, he's got 30 days to demolish. Next property,
am I free to go?
yes, sir. Yes. We'll now open, rule to show cause while property located at 317 East Pine Street, parcel number 06102-17500, belonging to Mitchell Shane Huffpower. May I ask if Ms. Huffpower is here? I don't. Did she get served? 'Cause I have some discrepancy here between, 317 East Pine Street, Mayor, and I may have to table this one. Okay. Because we have discrepancies between it and that 127 Garnett for some reason. Okay. So I would like to table. Let's postpone it to the next, condemnation meeting. Can we get a motion to postpone that to the next meeting? Moved by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderwoman Shassel. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next one, we will open the rule to show cause on property located at 127 Dronette Street, parcel number 06103-61450, belonging to Wayne Paul Daly, should not be condemned. Do we get, I'm sorry, notice was sent to owner?
Notice was sent to the owner by certified mail, and we have a return receipt showing delivery on July 20th.
Is Mr. Daly? Thank you, sir.
In. Mayor, on this particular property here, y'all go through the pictures and you can see the house. At some point in time, it appears that somebody started trying to renovate it. They put a couple of new windows in it. And when you get to the rear of the house, that's where you can tell it's been an old house, probably built in the, I guess, the 40s, 50s, whatever. And, in very bad condition. The inside of the house, you can see through with the windows. Somebody put some sheetrock in it at some point in time. I'm not sure how. You ended up in this house through a short sale or something?
No, this house here, I purchased it and put it on that property, and we got a permit, we were remodeling it, and then the hurricanes came,
And when hurricanes came, all the construction labor left town. And the windows that are missing were all double insulated windows that were stolen out of the house. The doors were stolen, the windows were stolen, the only ones that weren't stolen were the front windows. And they went in and started, we were remodeling and putting new sheetrock, and they started to rip out the electrical panel. And at that point, you know, we just couldn't find no labor, and all the work that needed to get done after the hurricanes, from the 2 hurricanes that we had, with the pandemic and the Arctic freeze, kind of put us way behind schedule. So that got a little on the back burner.
Mayor, as you see on my report, my recommendation is this home be condemned and demolished because of the overall condition of the house and what it will take to bring this home up to code. You know, the wiring was stripped out of it, windows stripped out of it, no insulation value, no air conditioning, plumbing. It just adds on. It would take thousands of dollars to try to rebuild this house. So that's why my recommendation is for it to be condemned.
So moved.
We have a motion to condemn and demolish 127 Dronette Street. We have a second. Second by Alderman Reggie. Any more discussion? How long, Sandy?
30 days.
30 days?
30 days.
Okay. So offered for a 30-day demolition from Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Reggie. All in favor? Opposed?
Hold on, I got a question. On the 30 days that we give for demolition, and I'm just asking a question, if there's a way to bring the house, the code.
No, sir. Once it's ordered condemned
Yeah, I'm just.
and demolished, in 30 days, if the property owner doesn't do it, then we send out notice and then the city does. All right. Open road show calls, my property located at 815 West 10th Street, parcel number 061008910, belonging to Ruby Allen Dalcour, should not be condemned. Mr. Clerk, did we have service on this property?
Notice by certified mail was returned unclaimed, and we have a notarized certificate of service certifying that notice by first class mail was mailed on July 20th.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Richard?
Yes, sir. If you see my report made on June the 28th, pictures taken, you go to my observation report, and you will see this home is in very bad, dilapidated condition. Which that sign deterioration inside the house is literally falling inside out. Tall grass around the house. Just again, very bad deplorable condition. That's why my recommendation is to demolish the home. Is Ms. Victoria here? Talk about the house. The owner of 815 West 10th Street.
Ruby Allen Dalcour, or representative? No one?
So nobody's here, Mayor, but my recommendation is to condemn the house, and if y'all
So
choose to condemn it, we'll send them a notified letter that the house has been condemned.
I have a motion to condemn in how many days?
30.
30 days by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Reggie. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. I will open roadshow calls while property located at 514 East 10th Street, parcel number 0610105141, owned by Wayne Paul Daly, should not be condemned.
Mr. Daly, if you want to come back up, this home here, you can see the pictures, it's in very bad condition also. The plumbing underneath it is gone, the interior of the house is in very bad condition.
Electrical, same type of situation. So you go through the pictures and even the accessory structure on the back side of the building is in bad condition. The seals underneath the house is not spliced on top of blocks. Plumbing pipe falling out underneath the house. You've got Romex wiring under the house, which is against NEC regulations. So again, based on these recommendations, I recommend this property be condemned and demolished.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Mr. Wayne, you want to speak?
30 days.
30 days. You want to speak? Okay, motion for 30-day demolition condemned and 30-day demolition from Alderwoman Marks, second by, who seconded? Alderman Dorey. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll open a rule to show cause why property located at 1226 North Avenue J, parcel number 061021750, belonging to Paul Wayne Daly, should not be condemned.
This is a very large house on North Avenue J. I guess I'd like to know the history behind this home, because at one point in time in history, this had been a super nice home.
Governor Edwards used to live in that house.
Oh, that's why y'all call it the governor's house.
Yes.
I like it.
Literally is the
Literally, okay. Well, again, because of the condition of the home, basically impossible to repair it, my recommendation is to get in to demolish it.
So moved.
Motion for how many days?
30.
A motion for condemnation and 30-day demolition by Alderwoman Marks, second by Alderman Reggie. Discussion, Mr. Wayne? No discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, open rule to show cause why property located at 822 West 9th Street, parcel number 06102355510, belonging to Abram Johnson Jr., should not be condemned. Mr. Clerk, do we have proper notice?
Notice by certified mail was returned unclaimed, and we have a notarized certificate of service certifying that notice by first-class mail was mailed on July 20th.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Richard?
So we have no one here to represent the family? Oh, there they are. Okay. And then I did have a note from the secretary that y'all was coming in. So, again, if you look through the pictures, and see the condition of the home, this house here has masonite siding on it, old cast iron plumbing. This house was one of those tough decisions. So I kind of took a picture underneath the house when I realized you got old cast iron piping, you got rotten floor systems underneath it. It was one of them 50-50 deals, whether I thought he could repair it or not, but to repair this thing gonna be very expensive, definitely gonna exceed what I call over the 50% value of the house. So that's why my recommendation right now is to condemn and demolish it. So I'd like to hear what y'all have to say about it.
Okay.
Good evening.
Hi, how you doing?
State your name. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Marcia Johnson, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm his wife.
Maybe Johnson third.
Yeah, he's the third, Junior is deceased.
Okay.
And we've been paying taxes gonna reside in it or visit to reside in, it's been used for storage, but we are willing to repair it to where, I don't know, like it would be livable, but we're not gonna rent it or anything like that because he has siblings involved also, which we've been wanting to buy them out. So we could, maybe eventually do something with it, but right now it's just for storage. And it's stated on the paperwork that there's a leak, but we don't have water or electricity or anything hooked up to the house.
And the pipes that he's looking at, they're dusty, that's from dirt. Now, as for cast iron and whatnot, there's no busted pipes or nothing underneath there.
And then he
And for the backing, or the majority of it, is like, we got a pecan tree and some shrubs that's in the back that need to be taken care of. I've been out of work for like almost a year. I'm getting back into the swing of things, but still in all, from the check, they got termite caps around there, that's good. The house is solid, there's no leaks, it's insulated well, because before I got married, I was with my, I went to my wife.
Yeah.
But the idea about that, as for him saying this, that, and the other, I got pictures of the thing, and I cut the property over the weekend. And all he's showing is different, it's different stuff that he's showing, but he's not showing this real structure of what that house is. It's been through a storm, it's been through everything. We had to leave our house I have to leave my house to stay in there, because it's more solid than the house that I have right now. So as for what he's saying about this being demolished, you can't tell the winter or the summer, because it's so insulated. So, as for the stature of it, it's a solid house. One thing with this house, with electrical, it has the screw-in fuses that has to be changed out. And we had knocked the storm had knocked the wire down, and that's the only reason why they don't have electric.
And then he wants to say, well, he did speak with some friends who are willing, because he knows plumbers, he knows
Yes.
electricians and everything. who are willing
I got
to
it.
help with-
I got a question.
Okay.
You mentioned that there are other siblings that are involved in the property.
That's right.
They always want this, but when it's time to pay the taxes, everybody runs. But that's it's true.
You are not alone.
I didn't say it like that, but it's,
My concern with this is you got the notice, correct?
yes, we got it in the mail.
My concern with this particular property is if there are other heirs that are listed on this property, if they were also notified, and I'm not certain that they were, I'd ask that we postpone this one until the next meeting. We can make sure that the siblings were also notified properly. I just want to make sure we do everything correctly and everybody gets their fair notice. Yes, sir.
Cooney, just like the question we asked earlier, you said that it's over the 50% of what the value of the home is. While they're waiting for the next meeting and able to talk to the siblings, can you let them have an idea of what it's gonna cost them to get it up to standard? So them and the siblings can make that decision on whether or not that's something that they wanna put into it or not. Because I'm sure you don't wanna pay all of your siblings fees to fix the house.
Right.
Yes, sir. Well, let's start off with the house have to be rewired. So, right off the bat, you $10,000+ to get a licensed electrician to rewire a house like this. And I'm looking at extension cords plugged in underneath the house and taped together with it plugged in. When I say a plumbing leak, when I see wet floors all stained and rotting around the plumbing pipe, that tells me I have a leak in that house through the years where it has been leaking. Also, if you look real close, I got a cast iron pipe that's open-ended. In other words, I can get a backflow on that. So there's gonna take some pretty serious plumbing work to get this thing up to par. Now, to do this, that's where we require a building permit. To contact me, we're gonna get you some minimal building permits, the lowest that we can say a permit for. So we can get out there and do a good inspection on the house.
house.
So right now, you're saying, I'm sorry, right now, you're saying the sewage is running on the ground?
Yes, ma'am, there's an open, cast iron piping underneath it.
If it would be used and no one's living in the home.
Yeah, it's not on, I don't understand because there's no water being connected to it, but you know.
No, it would be if it would be used.
I'll show you what I'm talking about if I can blow this picture up.
And who's
See
actually
the
on
end of
the
that cast
deed?
iron pipe is open.
Who is on
And
the
you
city's
see
own?
how I got a buildup?
I don't have that information with me right now.
I have a buildup of paper or something. That's what I'm talking about. That's an open end pipe that's been leaking through the years. This wet floor right here tells me I've been having a leak in the house itself, or I wouldn't have these wet floors. That's what I'm getting at. All that stuff, if you choose to,
Who
fix it,
actually
all that is-
owns the house? Who's on the?
His father was deceased, and so that's why, but we've been, he cuts the property and, you know, does what he can. I'm not gonna lie, he's had major health issues, I've had major health issues, so he.
How long has the deceased father, how long has that been?
Since 94.
94, yeah.
And so, did you go through probate and you're listed as the owner?
No.
He's still under his father, and he was living in the house, he was
Yeah,
living in the
I was
house.
saying
He lived in the house.
How long has it been since you lived in the home?
there's no succession coming.
No succession.
You can't touch the house now.
Cooney, what is your estimated cost, total dollars?
Again, when you deal with an old house with cast iron piping, that gets expensive.
Well, I noticed that, and then you said that you're approaching the 50% of what you believe.
Well, when I say
Are we
it's
talking about
approaching
10,
50%,
$20,000? 20 to 30?
20,000, 30,000 at least, but what I say it exceeds 50% of the value, what that means by state regulations, the whole house has to be brought up to code.
And I want to make sure that
Everything in
the
it has to
property
be brought
owners
up to code.
understand that, you know, because I think that's a big misconception, is that a lot of people think it fix up to, but it's a lot more than that to bring it up to code.
That's right. You gotta be
And
brought up to
certainly
today's
don't be
code.
aware of what you're facing. If you go to route preparing it, that you're looking at that amount of money.
Yeah, but.
And sometimes, I've dealt with people like y'all to where you can bulldoze this house down in America and help me out, probably $10,000, going to figure it out. That lot is worth more than that. That's a nice, clean, vacant lot.
It's a very good one.
You know, that lot will make you more money than that house will. It's what I found through the years.
Now, the things that, you
Just say.
know, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am. No, go ahead.
Him having the co-workers who have licenses that are willing to help, you know.
The supplies is the big
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah.
The supplies is the big cost, but, when's the last time anyone lived in the home?
It's less than 20 years, because we did when we got married, he said there for
15, 18 years?
About 15 years.
Yeah.
So we did, things just started happening, but we're willing to, you know, even if we could start working on some things now before we even get with the other three.
And that's, so that's a question that you'll have to answer yourself. Why do you want to save this structure when you have to put so much money into it? And is it possible to do that at any time soon within the next 10 years with the other siblings who are involved and agree upon something? So that's just something that y'all have to get through and answer yourself. We're gonna postpone this until the next meeting so we can check on the notices, make sure that everyone was properly notified. I wanna make sure that that process is taken care of. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, call me at City Hall. I'll be happy to talk with you. We can get with Mr. Cooney and he'll be happy to meet with you out there and kind of explain things. But this is all questions that you all need to answer with yourselves and your family by the next meeting.
Yeah, hold on,
Thank you.
hold on.
Yes. Go ahead, Seth. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. Since there's siblings and has been succession on the house, well, I don't think we have the legal right to even touch it. Okay? So y'all, whatever time that's needed, I want to say give them 90 days and try and get this together. Because you need to get with your sisters and brothers and whoever, and work it out. by that time, you come up with a game plan and we'll work on it. That'll work for y'all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a motion from Alderwoman Marks to postpone until the next meeting.
Yes.
Need a second by Alderwoman Chasson, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all, yes ma'am.
Good luck, y'all.
All right, open rule to show cause on a property located at 909 West 10th Street, parcel number 061-034-2900, belonging to Benjamin Phillips, should not be condemned. Mr. Clerk, do we have service on this?
Notice was sent to the owner by certified mail, and we have a return receipt showing delivery on July 20th.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Richard?
Yes, sir. Is, Mr. Phillip, here tonight?
Benjamin Phillips or anyone representing him?
Okay, if you all go to my observation report, you will see, several pictures showing you the condition of this house. It's, definitely a blighted piece of property, unsafe, dilapidated, and unfit to be lived in at this time. And, you can kind of take the time to go through the pictures. You can see it overgrown with vines, siding rotten on it. The roof is in very bad condition, overgrown with weeds. See the back of the house is falling down, holes all in it, windows busted.
I make a motion to accept the recommendations of Michael's property. Give him 30 days.
We have a motion from Alderwoman Marks for condemnation and 30-day demolition, second by Alderman Reggie. Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, I got to abstain because, my daughter is married into the family, so.
One abstention, Mr. Martin. Okay, open rule to show cause while property located at 1004 West 10th Street, parcel number 061016950, belonging to Idella Goodwill, care of Timothy Hayes Jr., should not be condemned.
Is, Mr. Hayes?
Mr. Glenn, we got notice, right?
Thank you.
Hold on.
Again,
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Notice was sent to the owner by certified mail, and we have a return receipt showing delivery on July 20th.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Richard?
Okay, if y'all, look at my observation report, you'll see why my recommendation is for this property to be condemned and demolished. Again, old cast iron piping, you'll see rusted out, very bad condition. Structurally, very bad condition. Holes in the walls, windows busted. Inside the house is in very dilapidated condition. Siding missing, again, the last picture shows open walls inside the house. The structure is in disrepair and lack of maintenance. So my recommendation is for this property to be condemned and demolished.
Smoking station name, please.
Yes, Smokey Wheeler. I live at 1501 West 7th Street here in Crowley for over 6 years now. I'm actually standing for a friend, for Miss Lynn, and the property is family property. It's her dad, Mr. Leroy Goodwill, and she wants to do a hardship. She had gotten a permit, a building permit that I'm holding in my hand. Permit number is CR 21-01. I think that's 78-P. Back in May 5th,
2021.
21, yes. Correct. Ms. Lynn had fell sick during the COVID era, and we came in, we had talked to Miss Emily here that's over the blight, and also with Mr. Chad in a private meeting on today. And I'm gonna read, what's on here. It's actually a petitioner, prayer of a petitioner, and to whom it may concern, I felt sick with COVID at the time the building permit was issued and was unable to manage my affairs. Whereas I am much better now, willing and able to continue the process. What she is asking here on the prayer petition is, may this matter continue as previous planned or revised with no cost. Yours truly. And the date, actually, Mr. Leroy and myself, Smokey Wheeler, on today's date, 8/14/23. That's also have been, he stated that there was some siding missing and some repairs. We have went out, myself, labor service, and 3 other volunteers had went out. We did pick up the debris. Mr. Chad did see it. Also, Ms. Stoner has seen it. We have put on the siding on the other side that you have here. All of the siding there has been recovered. There is one little spot in the back, but we're gonna do away with it. It was an add-on porch in the back. We're gonna do away with it. So we are asking, being that this lady already had a permit, if she could be issued another one at no cost, is what we're asking.
Yeah, I'll let you make that motion. Give her a chance to
Mayor, let me
do whatever.
Yes.
let me say this for what it's worth.
Yes.
Back when this permit, of course, this permit had expired.
Yes.
But back when this permit was issued, permits was given out just by request, without any type of plan review or courtesy inspection on what's needed. So again, even if y'all want to give him a permit, I'm okay with that, but remember, I got a business to run. But I'm saying that it has to be done to code. And what I mean by this, look underneath the house, old cast iron pipe, it's rusted out, busted up. The house would have to be rewired. It has to be brought up to livable standards, and I'm not sure if they have the money and the means to do this, is what I'm saying right now.
Yeah, but even to that point though, let them decide that.
Cooney,
Yes.
on the last page of your pictures, on the wall to the left, there appears to be mold or possibly black mold from
Yeah.
moisture.
Yes, sir.
Would abatement of that also be required?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
And the
Because
cost,
you can look at the mold growing on those boards.
yes, and that's an additional,
Additional cost, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I might add, it's also an extreme health hazard.
Definitely. Definitely. But this house has been vacant for several years, I'm sure. You can put more light on that. And just abandoned for who knows how many years. And just by opening up to the weather, that's where that mold and mildew all occurred. And again, to fix this is gonna be expensive. And you know, that's why my recommendation is for it to be condemned. Now, back in 21, when that was issued, sorry, maybe it wasn't quite this bad, but it's bad right now.
Can I make a substitute motion to 30 days?
I don't have a motion on the floor.
Make a motion to accept the recommendation for condemnation and demolish, 30 days.
Okay. We have a motion by Alderwoman Marks to give 30 days for condemnation and demolition. And it's second by Alderman Reggie. Any more discussion? Mr. Martin?
I still feel that the owners of the house needs to reject whether they want to spend the money or not. Okay? Understand what you're saying, but it's up to the owners of the the house. No one knows what a person is capable of as far as finances.
Right,
So
well,
I would say, yeah, I would say let, it's Linux,
yeah.
okay, let them come in, get with you, and then make a decision what they wanna do. Okay?
Yeah, may I say something, like all of the rest of them, and I've been here, a few months back, and I've heard a few people came in, and very few of them actually had a permit. I heard promises was made and never was fulfilled, but in this matter here, I mean, I'm holding a permit in my hand. Also, myself, and like I said, and others, we have a house that we're tearing down in the country, in St. Landry Parish, that I have plenty of boards. You know, we do things the old way, the thrifty way, and, you know, to where we can salvage this house. I have seen the photos that he has, but like I said, and he mentioned something about strong bones. If you look at the structure, he never mentioned nothing about the actual structure of the house. This house is standing square. You know, you don't see the roof collapsing like most houses that we see. So, you know, like I said, we could, you know, even if you don't wanna, do it with no cost, just let us get another one.
Is this a rental or family members?
This is family members.
Any other discussion?
I still stand by what I said.
Your mic, Mr. Martin.
Yeah. I still stand by what I just said. I think that the owners of the house need to come meet with you before we condemn it. I would like to see it postponed, and let her come in, or what have you, and then we'll talk about it later. That's just my opinion. Because you don't know, you have some people that, the houses, you know, family heirloom.
And also, like I said, I mean, we have done some repairs to the house,
Right.
you know, boards and things like that.
I'm saying.
Also the debris on the outside.
All right, Alderwoman Chester.
Did we mention a ballpark figure as to what that might cost?
No, ma'am, but this is what I would like to say, if the council is not gonna condemn the property. I've done this in other cities. Give this gentleman 30 days to come back with a complete cost estimate of the job. That's rewiring the house, removing the mold, plumbing, electrical, on and on. A good cost estimate and not a Joe Blow handwritten something from a cousin because he thinks he's an electrician.
Excuse me.
A licensed plumber.
You're asking or stating that that estimate has to come from a contractor, a licensed contractor.
Or a home improvement
That's no
contractor.
problem, right, somebody was licensed.
And then you have to get a permit at that point and go through the process of inspection.
All right, currently the motion and the second is for 30 days to condemn, to condemn and demolish in 30 days. Alderman Ashby.
The only issue with this is that if we wouldn't have sent a letter for another year, nothing would have been done. It's 2 years since it was sent the first time. And the only reason you're here is because you received the letter. So nothing was done in a 2-year period. I'm sure every single person in here had COVID. There was some time that something could have been done, and nothing was started until today.
Yeah, may I say something? And you're absolutely correct. Like I said, I've been in here with other people saying that and making promises and then went. But I think we all do know that other business officials wasn't actually pushing it the way the council is pushing it now, and which I give you a thumbs up for it. You know, the city had been laid back on it. So, you know, if nobody's telling me to, you know, repair a bicycle or something, it's no use for it. But when the use comes, whether it's transportation, you know, or recreation of the bike, then, you know, it's a need for it. So I would say that, you know, what you're saying is absolutely right, but at the same time, it wasn't a push to get this done, you know what I'm saying?
So my only answer to that is that someone shouldn't have to force you
No,
to take
sure.
care of your property. You should take pride in your property and not let your property look like this.
That's absolutely correct.
So it shouldn't have to be forced from here.
Right. It shouldn't have to be.
And
Mr. Court, go ahead.
okay, keep in mind that the Citizens Against Blight have been working tirelessly for the last 3 to 4 years. And also in the newspaper, every month there is posting on blighted property, and there are several articles. So this is not just something that's coming up now. This movement has been in place since the
About a
last
year.
council.
A year.
Call the question.
Motion and a second to condemn and order demolished in 30 days. All in favor? Opposed?
No,
2 noes. Motion carries.
I have one more thing. Yes, sir, if I could. Is there any process that you do an appeal? Or what is the next step of appeal process?
You have 5 days.
5 days.
To appeal, yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll open the roll to show cause while property located at 702 West 10th Street, parcel number 06100332200, belonging to Michael Blaine Benwall, should not be condemned. Mr. Clerk, do we have notice, service?
Notice was sent to the owner by certified mail, and we have a return receipt showing delivery on 7/20.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Richard?
Yes, sir. Is, Mr. Benoit?
Michael Blaine Benwall, our representative.
Sir. If you, again, go back to my inspection report, and you'll see the condition of the home, where you don't have good bones here whatsoever. You got rotten seals sitting in the dirt. Got the old brick type of siding, brick paper type of siding. Looked like the house had been abandoned for a number of years. Floor system completely rotten out from underneath it, sitting in the ground, sitting in the dirt. So again, there's no way to replace this. Recommendation is to condemn and demolish it.
That's a vote.
We have a motion to condemn
30 days.
30 days to demolish. That's condemnation and demolish altogether, young. 30 days to demolish. Second by Alderman Ashton. Any more discussion? Yes, sir, Mr. Martin.
all right, you brought up, an issue that should have been, said before we started, that even though it's condemned, there is a appeal process.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we need to let everybody know that. So, people that are not here, I don't know, if it's whatever work related or what, but at least give them a chance to appeal the decision.
Will they
Yes, sir.
receive that upon notice that the property's been condemned for demolition? That they have 5 days to appeal?
They will be sent out a notice, that's part of that next step. This will be sent back out to them, just like what has been sent by certified mail and regular mail.
So they have 5 days from today to appeal?
I'm not sure if it was here, but I think it's, you're right. Since, if they are here and they're here tonight, it's starting tonight.
It's
Start today.
I think so. Because they were already noticed of this process.
Yes, sir.
We'll check on that, but, and let them know for sure. Okay. Open the roll to show cause while property located at 1524 North Avenue H, parcel number 06101-68150, belonging to Harry and Peggy.
No.
No. Okay, thank you. I was probably gonna mess it up.
I'll send you the.
Mr. Clerk, do we have service?
Notice was sent to the owner by certified mail, and we have a return receipt showing delivery on July 20th.
They're both deceased.
Okay.
No succession was done on either one. We're trying to.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
I'm Angela Oye. I am daughter of Harry. No.
Okay,
So we would like to demolish it. However, when I called for a permit they told me I couldn't get a permit because the succession hadn't been done. So, I don't know the process.
That's,
How many heirs are there on this property?
We have 5, and, she has 1, but he's in Oklahoma.
okay. So, let's do the postponement on this one too, until the next meeting, so that we can make sure everyone.
I have somebody lined up for tomorrow, we'll get it scheduled.
Right. We need to make sure everyone is notified. Is here. Well, yeah.
Perfect time.
Yeah, right to the fire.
Perfect time. She needs to do a succession because there's a lot.
I can't do that without all the
Because there's a lot of heirs to this
But
particular
can't
house,
just
but they're
one
willing
of
to tear it down.
Yeah.
Does she need a succession to get a demo permit?
I would think probably your best course of action is if you can open a succession and just appoint someone as an administrator of that succession. And then that administrator could take whatever steps are necessary to get it done. Also, if that's the only property you have, you can do just a small succession affidavit, which is literally just an affidavit signed by all the heirs.
It's the only property of my dad, but half of it is his sister. I have no clue.
So probably the easiest process, because it sounds like you're not gonna get cooperation from the rest of the family.
My siblings, my cousin's in Oklahoma.
Right. So, allow us to postpone this. We will make sure that we do our due diligence, and legally do everything that we need to notify everyone that is listed on the property. Once that's done, we'll bring it back to another meeting.
Is there some kind of simple succession we can
For
do?
succession? Yes, ma'am. There's what's called a small succession affidavit, and if the value of the estate is worth less than $120,000, you can do a small succession affidavit. It's just an affidavit that would have to be signed by, well, it has to list all of the heirs, their names, their current address, and last 4 digits of their social security number, have to list the property, okay? It's got to be sent to all of the heirs, all right? And everybody has 10 days to sign it. For those that don't sign it within 10 days, you're just gonna have a certificate saying that, it was presented to them, they had 10 days to sign it, they haven't signed it. After that, as long as 2 heirs and a surviving spouse, if there is one to sign it, that's, has the same effect as the succession.
Okay, so what's it called? No, I understand.
Maybe you get his card and call it.
So let me ask you this, I know I'm a little late to the party, but, who's the property owner or what's the property?
My dad, Harry Knoll, he's been deceased for 10 years, and his sister, 15 or 16 years.
So the property originally belonged to your grandparents?
Yes,
Okay, and your grandparents only had 2 children?
yes,
Okay, and that was your dad and your aunt?
yes,
Okay. And they are both deceased now too?
yes.
How many kids did they have?
We have 5 kids, and she only had 1.
Okay. All right. Got it. That's not an impossible hurdle to clear.
No, I can get 5 kids, it's the one.
All right. And for those that you may have trouble getting their signatures, as long as you send it to them and give them an opportunity to sign it, if they don't sign it within 10 days, it can be filed without. And that doesn't deprive them of their rights in the property. I mean, that, they still are recognized as owners of the property, you just don't have to get their signatures.
So
Just so I can get a permit to clear that.
yes. So we'll postpone this to the next meeting, allow you the time, or I'll ask for a motion to postpone it. I can't make that decision. I'll ask for a motion to postpone it until the next meeting to give you the opportunity to get with the families, send those letters out, get the signatures you need, and then open the small succession and be able to tear it down yourself. And we'll bring it if it's not done, we'll bring it back up in probably a month. We'll have another meeting like this. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So I have a motion from Alderman Marks to postpone it, second by Alderman Dorey. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, can I, say something real quick since Ms. Landry walked in?
Yes.
Can you explain, I don't know if she's still here or not, about the, appeal process into the council? What's their step to appeal this?
They would file a notice of appeal here. Well, actually, the appeal goes to the district court.
That's what I thought, yes, sir. I didn't want to say that, but I thought.
And they have 5 days from what date?
It'd be 5 days from the date of the order. I mean, it'd be 5 days from the date that we, order the condemnation.
And all my years of doing this, I knew the answer, but I wanted him to say it.
Yes.
We have one appeal that's, going to court, in a Katy parish, I think for 2 weeks.
Yes. Okay.
So just, I wanted them to hear that from your mouth. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay, last one. Open the rule to show cause while property located at 1546 North Avenue H, parcel number 06103-96164, belonging to Russell Scott Seymour, should not be condemned. Mr. Clerk, do we have service on this property?
Notice was sent to the owner by certified mail, and we have a return receipt showing delivery on 7/20.
Mr. Richard?
Yes, sir. If you,
Anyone here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Just want that here.
Thank you.
But if you go to my observation report, you'll see the condition of the home and why my recommendation is to condemn and demolish this property. So it's in very bad condition. If you look through my report and my comments, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'd like to hear what Mr. Russell has to say.
State your name, please.
Russell Seymour.
Yes.
Yes, sir, I'd like to have some time to take care of this problem. I've got all the trash and debris around it already done. I ain't got my permit, I'm gonna get my permit before I touch anything else. First thing I'm gonna get my demo permit.
Yes, sir.
And I'll take the garage off, all that garage come off, I'll fix the porch. All that's gonna be gone, I'm gonna get a machine to all that out, clear all the back out. And all the front, it will all be clean, everything will be done. But there's never been a rent house, I've been on it just for 5 years, it's just been a storage. I never had electricity on, I never had candle by it, was just storage for my material. But if you can give me some time to get it up to date, looking good, and not a little blighted property, give it a chance, I will take care of it.
So what you're saying, you want to renovate the existing home?
And yeah, but do I have to get it, I want to get it I just can't just store it, not little.
I don't know if they'll approve that as a storage.
I take all that rubber stuff off, and all that bag and stuff, it's not gonna look bad, you gotta get it.
That's gonna be, what he's asking is to make the home, get rid of all the bad stuff around it, which is a lot of porches, garages, stuff like that, and keep the main structure and use it for storage. Again, my recommendation is not to allow that.
It's a couple of days, I know all that, it's just a couple of days. I got it all cleaned up, and then we should get all that, to the back, I can even see the border.
In a residential district zoning, can you just have a storage building, or is it required to be for residential use?
I would think you could have a storage building. Now looking at the zoning ordinance, Brad, I can't give you a real definite answer to that, but it is, it's not being used commercially, you're not renting out a storage facility. I think it's probably permissible. I have to look at the specific zoning ordinances to give you more definitive answer to that.
Yeah, I would like
Mr. Richard.
for the attorney to look that up. The but is what we have allowed in the past when somebody wanted to use a house, and I got 2 in Katy Parish like that we ask that all the windows are boarded up, it's secured, and 1 or 2 access doors that are maintained and locked. But it has to be presentable, all windows boarded up with plywood.
So,
to make it secure.
so I'll tell you that I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was one of my questions. What are you gonna do with the windows and doors and all of the openings on the house? I'll tell you that if you put plywood on these windows, we just have an abandoned house that's boarded up. It still is, no, but it's still a dilapidated home that is not structurally sound for living. And so, you know, is it gonna be painted? It's gonna still look bad. Then the neighborhood still has to live with a boarded up home because you are using it as a storage building and not a home. That's just my opinion.
And I'd also state that if you're going to convert the home to a storage building, then simply boarding up the windows is not going to be accepted. You're going to have to take those windows out and put siding, and do a lot of conversion. Well, but there's
one bedroom, about 400 square feet.
I understand, but then again, just to be sure, if the house, if the structure is not in condition, but it still has to be code for whatever use, whether it's a residence or storage.
You have, rotten seals on portion of it, stuff like that, so it's in pretty bad shape. So that's why my recommendation is to condemn.
Yes.
I'm approved to condemn demo within 30 days.
We have a motion to condemn and with a 30-day demolition order
Second.
by Alderman Corr, second by Alderwoman Marks. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Now, motion to adjourn?
Mayor, before we do that.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd like to revisit one of the properties. The one owned by, Delcor, Ms. Ruby.
You have a question on it?
Well, I just want to make sure 815 is listed, that we understand, because I know they have the means to go ahead and repair. Okay? So I'm actually, from listening, people that's not here, were they mandated to be here?
Sir?
No one's mandated. They all had notice to, that this was happening today at this time. No one was mandated to come. I actually had, someone, that was concerned about coming to the meeting, and I said, you don't have to show up. You have the right to show up to state your case and ask that it don't be condemned and let the council know what your, what you would like to do with it, but you don't, that no one is required to be at the meeting. No, sir.
Well, I just want to revisit that, the next.
Step with me and ask you this. This is one that you refused service.
Oh, she did? Oh, okay, well, she refused. She was out.
Okay. Motion to adjourn? I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Can you give a little details on how you plan to tear all these houses down as far as after 30 days? You got a plan in place, who's gonna tear it down?
Well, currently, we hire contractors to do it. I am in the process of working on getting the possibility of the city employees and equipment to do it, which would help save not only the city money for some of these properties that we may never collect on and have to go to tax sale, but also the property owner, because the intent of this is not to take property away from people. The intent of this is to require people to clean up their property so that the neighborhood can be cleaned up and the neighbors will have nice places to live next to also. I don't want to speak for the rest of the council, they can speak for themselves, but I don't think anyone in here wants the process to take anything from anyone. all of these properties have been in this condition for, you've heard some of them, 20+ years. And no one has ever lifted a finger, some of them not even to cut the grass. Trees have grown up. It's been terrible. And when they get a letter saying that we're gonna condemn it and order it demolished, then they wanna do something with it. But the people, they don't live in the neighborhood. They live across the city or in another city. And a lot of these people live in another state. And so it's unfair to the property owners who have to live around these properties. So that's why this is being visited.
Right.
It's something that was asked.
I agree.
I'm hopeful that we can do it at a less expensive rate by the city doing it. And don't have that process completely set up this time. I'll tell you that we are waiting and working on a grant opportunity, but that's next year. The process to go to apply for that grant is you have to have properties in this process right now. So these properties that were ordered condemned in 30 days would apply to that grant. The problem is that's not for another year that comes up. But if we have some properties that we're not able to take care of between now and then, I don't want to, look, Mr. Richard has probably 20 or 30 more ready for us to look at to decide what we're going to do with them.
Right.
We're moving forward with this process. I don't want 100 properties just sitting there waiting. We didn't do anything.
So is the
But
plan?
whatever's left, we will be able to
In
do.
30 days, is your plan to start tearing houses down, or are you gonna be 60, 90, 120 days?
Well, in 30 days, we have to send another notice.
Okay.
Mr. Lander, you want to explain once that process is there?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, so we're gonna send once a 5-day appeal process ends, that 30 days is gonna start to run. The 30 days runs and they haven't remedied the situation, they haven't torn down the property, then we have to send them a notice, let them know that you were given 30 days, you did abide by the order, now we're gonna tear it down on X day.
Do you have so many days to do this?
That's been a big question. But it doesn't seem that the city has so many days to do it. We have to schedule with the contractor and our city employees, to be able to do it. And so that scheduling process would start then.
And so looking beyond, you tore the property down, taxes come out next year, you'll add the cost to the property taxes?
Yes.
There's different means of collecting that. You can.
Okay, so explain that.
So you can either add it to the taxes and collect it through tax sale. There are some potential issues there. You don't necessarily want to have a whole lot of adjudicated properties on the books.
You gotta maintain them for 5 years.
Correct, yes. So, but you can also collect the liens through a private lien through ordinary process. In other words, just like Joe Citizen suing somebody for something. So you can actually create a lien, place a lien on the property, and have that property seized and sold in satisfaction of that lien privately as opposed to through the tax sale process.
Very good, that was my questions. Thank you.
We're turning over new rocks here, Chris. We're gonna,
I just want to get.
we will make it happen, okay? Be patient. All right. Offered a motion to adjourn, Mr. Core, second by Ms. Marks. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all very much.
That was fun.